Mexicans want Americans to self-deport themselves out of Mexico. Yes, you heard me right. The Mexicans are saying, hey, Americans, it's time to go home. Deport yourself out of our country. Protesters took to the streets in Mexico City saying, no more gringos, stop stealing our land, demanding that local leaders regulate tourism and have stricter housing laws, saying that Americans cannot come in and buy up all the property there. Protesters soon became violent as they started smashing storefronts, looting stores, and harassing and screaming at tourists that are simply walking on the streets, telling them to go home. During 2020, a lot of Americans moved to Mexico because they could live cheaply there and they could continue to work in their American-based companies, so they were living large. Rent in the past 5 years has increased by 47%, and the people in Mexico are done with it. They're saying, we have had a mass invasion of Americans. They're taking over our land, they're bringing their culture here, and we're done. So Americans need to deport themselves out of Mexico. Sounds kind of familiar, right? We had a mass invasion here. Now we're trying to send people out of our country. Mexico's doing the same thing, saying, Americans, it's time for you to go home. We want our land back. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
Are you a MAGA follower? Please do not come to Mexico. Do not come to Cancun. Do not come to Puerto Vallarta or Acapulco. Stay in the United States. Eat your Taco Bells. Eat your burritos. Eat your whatever you got back home. In Mexico, we already know that MAGA people hate Mexicans. We already know that you support Donald Trump, who is a really bad guy for Mexicans. They are putting our people in prisons. They are attacking our people. They are disappearing little children, separating families. We don't like MAGA people here in Mexico. And if you come, please do not bring your orange hat saying MAGA. Do not come with your shirt saying MAGA, because I've seen cases where MAGAs have been attacked by Mexicans in Cancun. At least they get knocked on their head, or at least they insult them, and we are right. We know you hate us in the United States, so why are you gonna come to Cancun with your offending us with your MAGA shirts or hats? Stay in the United States, you're better there. Why do you come to Cancun? Why do you come to Mexico? If you don't like us, stay there.
You all should be ashamed of yourselves inside of a Mexican restaurant sitting here eating. You all are fucking Nazis. Go fuck yourselves.
So are you.
No, I'm not. That in a restaurant, you don't think that these people have family?
They love it. They love us here. They know us well. They know us well, and they love us.
I don't care.
Well, you ought to care. You ought to care. You're way out of line. You're way out of line.
Hold on, what did you just say about Trump?
I said, Trump's a fucking liar. Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad. And I'm a mega man. Okay? I don't see anything he's done.
So is it safe to say that the illusion has faded?
I think it has, yes. You know, I was for him because, you know, everything he said, you know, he played right into my hands. He just told us everything we wanted to hear. That's what he did. I can't even stand to look at him because, you know, he's just he's a con. He's a flat ass, nothing but a fucking con. You know, they all the right side, they say, oh yeah, the Biden side was so bad. Well, what's so good about the right side? He brags about doing something with our economy, but I haven't seen anything happen yet. That big beautiful bill is going to add, they say $2.5 trillion. It's going to add about $4 trillion to the debt. The big beautiful bill. Oh, what a joke. I remember what happened in the 80s with trickle-down economics. Yeah. The filthy rich got richer, and us guys that worked for a living paid more taxes. I'm disappointed for sure. I'm real disappointed.
Watch this Trump supporter burn his MAGA hats after Donald Trump told his supporters to basically get over the Epstein files. Just take a look.
We're not going to play with these anymore. MAGA hats are off. America First hats are on. Burn, baby, burn. And this is a great representation of what's left of MAGA.
And the guy who posted that video on social media is a huge MAGA fan, super right-wing. It seems like so many of these Trump voters are just done with him now. This MAGA civil war is not going anywhere anytime soon. Donald Trump was really hoping that with this new statement, people would just fall into line and follow his lead. But many of these diehard Trump fans are saying, not so fast.
Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve.
That's Laura Ingraham getting booed, talking about Donald Trump covering up the Epstein files and saying they don't exist. Laura Ingraham, one of Donald Trump's top propagandists, she was speaking in Tampa at the Turning Points USA conference. You don't get much more MAGA than that. MAGA is out for blood. They are pissed off and feel betrayed by Donald Trump covering up the Epstein files and the Epstein list.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
To all my lonely Trumper men out there, my lonely MAGA dudes, I just want to tell you that the reason you're probably feeling lonely is because you're a loser and you're a fascist apologist. And no woman in their right mind will ever touch you with a 10-foot pole.
I don't want to see a single MAGA hat or Trump flag at a national park this summer. Because if I do, I swear to fuck, somehow your tent's going to be left open and there's going to be bear bait in your fucking backpack. You traitorous piece of shit. I've not posted about it before, but I've been to a lot of national parks, and I'd like to see them all someday. And if the reason I don't is because you half-witted fucking simpletons voted them away so that the Orange Man could pillage and burn them because America first, I'll fucking lose it. Matter of fact, if you voted for him, you ought to be barred from entry because you clearly don't give a fuck about him. And I do not care that you're posting about, well, save the national lands now. Because a year ago, I watched you gargle that orange piece of shit's nuts on social media for months as he talked about that this is exactly what he fucking wanted to do. To use a nature reference for you, it's a little bit like if you went and lit a wildfire and then came back with the fire brigade. We wouldn't be in this fucking mess if it weren't for you. And before you start about, well, both parties are the same, I can promise you that Kamala's to-do list did not have pillage the national lands on it.
What's going on with the Dollar Tree dictator and MAGA is like almost what I think is like an abusive relationship, and the wife finally realizes that she's being abused, right? And she's like, no, this is not right. And she's trying to get out. She's trying to leave. And he's like, no, wait, I love you. Are you going to throw away all of this for one simple mistake? And it's not one mistake. It's not one mistake. Take a look. Just take a look at this. He's like, look at all the work we've done for the past 6 months. America's the hottest country. No, it's not. It's not. No one likes it here. Okay, guys, don't fall for the bullshit. It sucks. Okay, it sucks so much that there was no % chance of rain in the forecast right now. It's been raining for the past 4 hours. You know why? You know why we didn't know? It's because he fired the people that are supposed to be tracking the weather properly. Oh my gosh. And now his people are turning on him and he's panicking. He's like, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Wake the fuck up.
You know, I've heard about immigration for the past 10 years being a problem, but my entire life, veterans being homeless has been a problem. And I don't think I've ever seen a veteran homeless center ever go up in like a month or like 6 months. And then they just put up an alligator Alcatraz concentration camp, Nazi style, for immigrants in the span of, 24 hours? When they say they care about vets, when they say they care about us, come on.
Trump supporters, I could really use y'all's help, man. Please watch this video. Please share it. Please repost it. I need to get some exposure. I'm making a 1-minute content video because me and my wife have just fell on really tough times. We are homeless at this moment, and I need to get as many people to watch this video as I can to the entirety. That's the only assistance I'm asking. Please, guys, give us a hand with this, and we'll see how faith takes us. We'll see if it takes us to the monetization of this. That's the only thing we could ask for. We both have jobs. We work, so that's not the case. We are not lazy people. We are not above asking for help. And the Trump supporters have been so amazing up until now, guys. From the bottom of my heart, please give us a hand with this. Go on and share it, save it, like it, the whole nine, please, guys. And comment, tell us, keep us in your prayers. Thank you.
I've shared before when I went down the QAnon rabbit hole for about 6 months in 2016. I got myself out of it. What MAGA's going through right now with Donald Trump not releasing the Epstein files, and now he's just demeaning people who want to stay focused on it, is nothing short of mental torture. We all have to recognize where MAGA's mindset is right now. When they were pulled into these online conspiracies back in 2016, they were pulled into Epstein's world, Epstein's island, through visuals, through music, all sorts of detailed stories implicating very deviant Democrats, including Biden, including the Clintons, okay? These were all made up by conspiracists who wanted to see Donald Trump win and Russian bots, okay? And they painted Donald Trump as the hero in all of this. And Donald Trump probably enjoyed all of this happening. He knew at some level all these conspiracies were helping him get into the White House. But I'm sure he doesn't know just the mental world that was created in MAGA's minds, okay? It would be like us being raised in a church, listening to a priest and his powerful words about God, and listening to the music of a choir, sitting in service and looking around and seeing all the paintings and icons, just the whole experiential part of it, and then 10 years later being told, oh, it was all a lie, there is no God. This is just all put together to make you feel and believe a certain way. This is what they're going through. This long, drawn-out conspiracy saga that was completely fabricated had the last chapter being the climax of all of this, the last chapter of Donald Trump releasing the files and bringing all of these Democrats to justice. They have been hanging in there for over 8 years for this final explosive chapter, and Donald Trump just pulled that from under them. It's not happening now. There is no final chapter. What they're left with is this horrible vision, this world of Epstein Island, which I'm sure was horrible, but it all being crafted by conspiracists who made Democrats the bad guys and Donald Trump the hero. Nothing makes sense anymore. This is mental anguish, what they're going through. I hope they figure it out.
To all the minorities that voted for Trump, do you know what white Trump supporters really think about you? What they say behind closed doors? I used to be conservative. I grew up around a bunch of Trump supporters. Let me tell you, these people do not give a fuck about anybody but themselves. And you might think they like you as a person, but they don't like you. They hate you. They only like what you stand for. As soon as you switch up, they're going to switch up too. They only like you now because you are giving more power to white supremacy. Every white Trump supporter I've ever met is at least mildly racist, if not full-blown ignorant. Back when I had these conservative beliefs, every time the topic of racism would pop up, I would stand my ground. I don't believe in that. I think you're wrong. And they would label me a liberal. Before I even identified as a liberal, I was labeled by them as a liberal for speaking out against racism. So basically, if you're against racism, you're considered a liberal. If you are for or compliant with racism, you are considered conservative. And I didn't create this division, they did. I heard many of their conversations talking shit about every person who is not white. Any person who is not them, they have a problem with. And the ones who are mildly racist are even worse, because when they get around somebody who is full-blown ignorant, they become just as ignorant and just as loud and arrogant as they are. They will not defend you. They will not fight for you. As soon as they have gotten what they need out of you, they will treat you just like the rest of them.
This just in, Christian nationals are now getting Trump's name on their forehead because they never read Revelation 13, because no Christians actually read their Bible. Revelation 13 says that the beast will cause all who refuse to worship his image to be unalived, and it will force all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive the mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. Ironically, they're also making golden statues to look like Donald Trump, and some of them, ironically or unironically, are literally worshiping the statues, but it's not a cult.
I'm going to need all of the no new wars MAGA to sit all the way down. Donald Trump just bombed Iran. Donald Trump is taking us into a new war. Oh, and all you America First people can go ahead and sit all the way down too. While you actively cheer the unconstitutional use of DEA, ATF, and ICE creating a police state, and Donald Trump appreciates all your little clapping videos on social media, Donald Trump is launching a brand new war that we have no business being in. And where's Doge with all the waste, fraud, and abuse? Let alone the cost of transporting our military equipment overseas. But those 30,000-pound bunker busters cost you and me quite a penny. So what say you, no new wars MAGA? Because if you don't stand for something, you continue to fall for anything, as Donald Trump was counting on.
So we're going to be walking around Canada, around Horseshoe Falls, and we're going to see how many people like our hat and see if there's any haters out there. So come along with us.
We need him back. Kamala would be a disaster.
So far, only compliments. Everybody loves our hats, so we're happy. So pretty.
Well, it turns out everybody in Canada loves Trump. It doesn't matter whether you're Chinese or you're Eritrean or any other ethnicity.
you will love Trump.
Yeah, I want to jump on the bandwagon of saying that I regret my vote for Trump. My whole family does. My husband and I own a farm in Ohio that was funded through the Inflation Reduction Act, which Biden signed into law. And now the executive orders from Trump are rolling back all of that funding for us. So now we can no longer afford our farm. And when all that happened, it was like a lightning bolt hit my brain. And I realized that I shouldn't just be voting for myself, that Trump's policies and EOs are hurting millions of people. But it took it affecting me personally to understand what I had done was wrong. And I think it's really important for anyone to come out who voted for him and is now negatively impacted by the executive orders, or maybe you have friends or family, especially in minority communities, who are being very heavily impacted by what's going on right now. So yeah, I think it's time for us to stop being so selfish maybe and to vote for what's best for the country instead of just in our tiny little bubble, because we're all in the same boat now and we're all equally screwed by our new president.
You know why we voted for Donald Trump? Because the middle class man finally thought he was going to get ahead in life. You said no taxes on overtime. Big, bold, beautiful letters. We thought, hell yeah, why would we not vote for that? Then you turn around and pass the bill and it's a crock of shit. It's a tax credit for the people that make a certain amount of money. Of course, when you put it in big, bold, beautiful letters, it looks great. We're going to vote for you. And you knew what you were doing. You were baiting people in saying, no taxes on overtime. You didn't give no fucking details. Your details that we read ain't worth a flying fuck. That bill, and I think Donald Trump's going to be great for the economy. It's only been 7 months. Give the man a chance. I get it. But the first fucking bill wasn't worth a shit. A lot of shit went wrong in that bill because we were misled. And you say, well, no, we were misled because a lot of people go off what Donald Trump says. We're not going to go read the shit. We're going to go off what he says. He needs to be more transparent with us whenever he talks about major life-changing topics like no taxes on overtime, no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security for the elderly people. Instead, there were stipulations on all of it. The transparency was a fucking zero. The bill is a fucking zero. Still gotta hope it's only been 7 months, but fuck.